Hi! Thanks for joining us. I'm Patti Teel, and today's guest on the Senior Helper Show is going to be Dr. Splettstoesser, a great podiatrist in Santa Barbara. Come on, join us!
Tired feet, my tired feet, tired feet, my tired feet, my tired feet brought me to that.
Welcome to today's Senior Helper Show. We have a fascinating guest today, a local podiatrist who's been practicing for over 35 years, Dr. Splettstoesser. Thanks for being our guest today.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I've seen you interact with your patients, and I wouldn't say you crack the whip, but you make them feel so very comfortable, and you have a beautiful office. It almost feels like you're going into a spa decorated with all the pictures of different feet and different shoes. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. But what percentage of your patients would you say are senior citizens?
Vast majority.
The vast majority. And what are the major problems that you see with seniors?
Ingrown toenails, very common. This time of year, the fungus. In August, a little bit of humidity here in Santa Barbara, 70%.
Diabetics have to be especially careful, don't they?
Yes. Diabetics are their eyes, their kidneys, and the feet are affected, and the feet are especially affected because the diabetes is a small blood vessel disease, meaning that the muscles in the arteries and veins tend to contract, and then that, of course, compromises the circulation of the foot.
Are shoes a huge problem? Have especially women and wearing high heels for most of their life and pointed shoes, does that generally cause foot problems later on?
I thought everybody learned their lesson back in the 50s, and I have women that said, yes, invariably the boss was a man, and he wanted us to have 5-inch high spikes and put a little arch in the back, you know, and did all the other fun things. But if, as we all know, there's a tremendous force, they're just wedged into the feet. I was going to bring a picture of a lady that was standing in high heels, an x-ray of her feet to show how the toes were practically overlapped.
Yeah, interesting. So I'm curious, should people come to you on a preventative basis, or do they only come to see a podiatrist when they have a problem? As you can tell, I've never been myself, or I'd know the answer to that.
There are a lot of things that a person can do on a preventative basis, and with the access to the computers and with all the Google and Yahoo, there are a number of things a person, they can keep their nails nice and short. If they have a tendency for the nails to ingrow, they can just curve it slightly like a thumbnail, as opposed to cutting it straight across.
Oh, these are good tips.
They can use an emery board to smooth it down, as opposed to cutting it with a sharp instrument, especially if they are a person with their feet very cold, may have any number of vascular diseases. They can, well, my dad was a staff sergeant in the U.S. Army, so he always told me, make sure you dry between your toes.
All right, all those kinds of things. Yes, those are great tips.
You can use a emery board after you take a bath or shower just to smooth down the calluses if you have any calluses. Make sure that you use a lotion before you go to bed at night to keep the skin nice and soft and supple. There's a number of good ones out there. For some people that have calluses, there are over-the-counter products that have 20% urea in the solution that acts as a chemical to chemically debride or chemically eat away some of the superficial callus. You don't want the calluses, especially in the heels in the wintertime, to get real thick because they can crack, and it's almost like a paper cut, and it's very painful. You can get that on the ball of foot also. If you have a tendency to have swollen ankles, you want to go to Federal Drug is a great place to go for compression stockings.
You are just a wealth of information. I wish I was taking notes, but
in buying new shoes, buy shoes at the end of the day when your feet are swollen.
So, what about, so fascinating, bunions? Are they hereditary, or does it have to do with your shoes, or both?
Both.
Both. Okay.
Usually the parents will be a tip on that. Grandparents also big tip. You'll see grandparents, parents, grandchildren.
I guess I remember my nephew saying to me one time, "Ma, you know, your feet look just like Grandma's," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's not pretty, I know." Anyway, oh gosh, and can you tell us where your office is located? I've told everybody it's a great office, but
Thank you.
would you give
Thank
the
you.
address?
It's located at 19 East Mission, Suite B, as in boy. It's essentially on Mission and State.
I just have one more because I love to go barefooted. Is that a problem?
Generally not.
Oh, good.
Generally not.
Yes. Well, unfortunately, we've run out of time for today. Dr. Splettstoesser has so much information to share that we're going to do a second episode at his office on Mission next week. Don't miss it.
This show has been brought to you by Senior Helpers of Santa Barbara County, providing care and comfort with a moment's notice. If you'd like to contact Senior Helpers, you can go to their website, www.seniorhelpers.com, or phone them at 805-966-7100.